it's time for our final visit to the world of educational children's programming, courtesy of everyone's favourite and only occasionally inappropriate cool kids TV character, Waldo.
What's brilliant about the Waldo moment is that the script is very honest about what I think a lot of people feel about politics, which is kind of, you know, ambivalent.
Waldo, what do you think?
Mr Monroe, are you addicted?
No.
Sorry, I mean, are you a dickhead?
You've got this idea of the immediacy with which we interact with the world now through apps and our phones and our iPads that I think sort of slightly changes how we are a bit and how we relate to each other as individuals and how we see the world to some degree, I suppose.
With everything being so accessible with YouTube, Twitter, people comment so readily on things, and there's a big culture of kind of not processing information. It goes in and it comes straight out, and straight away there's an opinion. And that Waldo character really taps into that cultural pattern that we've developed of commenting immediately by being like a troll at the end of a YouTube video and saying things that kind of is a bit crude and it sort of taps into something people quite like.
Mr Monroe, did you get off with any of the mums? Where'd you look while they were breastfeeding?
You got big milky tits, Mr Monroe. He said it. Mr Monroe, don't walk away from me.
I'm sorry about this,
Hey, don't ignore me. Don't just get in your car. It's a death trap anyway. Look at it.
Let's find out what we can about the idiot inside that thing.
Mike, can you pan left slightly? Bit more screen. There we go. Thank you.
I've had a go at operating the kit, but it's such a skill, the guys that do it. I mean, the actual puppeteers who are operating him, they're just so skilled, they're completely in sync, and it's complicated what they have to do.
Traditional kind of forms of CG animation would have been prohibitively expensive, but also wouldn't have provided the kind of interaction between Waldo and the other actors, and also the interaction between Waldo and Jamie.
We could have done it in post-production as we would have normally done with green screens on all the screens and then animating everything afterwards, but with a real-time animated character, it can change on the whim of the direction, it can change on the feeling of the actor who's playing the character, and it can develop throughout the show as well.
The lines are kind of set, but the timing will change, so you've got a live performance, but that aside, you can actually direct Waldo exactly the same way as you direct any other actor on set. You can tell him to play things differently, you can tell him to speed things up, you can tell him to react differently to other characters. He's a fully directable living thing.
Yes. We're doing what we're doing, but Daniel provides the soul for it, you know, and you listen to his voice and you get a lot from what Daniel's doing. You can't play against how he's doing it. It's not just the three puppeteers, it's the four of us all together making this character work.
What is this for? That's what you wanted to know, Mr Monroe. And the answer is, none of us know anymore, thanks to you. What are you for? What are you for? Thank you, and good night.
Mr Monroe, please,
have been arguing for a reduction.
If you think back, the sort of great political figures that we had at one time who you felt spoke with a kind of perhaps a position of moral authority or with a kind of a genuine sense of integrity. You look around now and you feel that it is actually all about self-interest. It's about achieving power for power's sake.
When I was young, there was the Anti-Nazi League and there was CND and people voted, and now they don't. My nephew has no idea the difference between the Labour Party and the Conservative Party. Some would argue that there isn't a difference, but there used to be, and there will be again. And when you depoliticise a generation, the reaction is massive, you know, and because there's no other way of expressing themselves except to throw petrol bombs, and that's, I think, is where we are now. So this story isn't so far away from the truth.
What is this for? That's what you wanted to know, Mr Monroe. And the truth is, none of us know anymore, thanks to you. What are you for? What are you for? Thank you, and good night.